I'm in pain. That stage hurts. Cordial hurts every time he hits you. I don't like him as a human being, but I shook his hand because, let's be honest, he was a great Ring of Honor champion, and I've always said he's a great wrestler. I just don't like him as a person, and that's not going to change, but I can definitely show him that I've grown up. Back in the day, I wouldn't have shook his hand, I would have spit in his face, and I would have gloated. But bro, I grew up, man. I'll give him his due and his respect. I'm just, I'm proud. I'm happy. When I get back to the hotel, I'm not going to be proud and happy because now I know I got to defend this championship, and it's going to be hard, but I like it. Without struggle, there is no progress. You know what I mean? I feel too weird if there's no struggle. But this is dedicated to Xavier, the second ever Ring of Honor World Champion. Rest in peace, bud. Thank you for everything you've done for this business. Thank you for being good to me in the locker room. But this one's for you, dog. This one's for you because people should remember who you are, man. X marks the spot, baby. Love you, X. Rest in peace. I'm good, man. I just want to go see my parents now. You know what I'm saying? We good, John Carlo? We good, baby. New York in this mother. Yeah?
That was Eddie Kingston. And this is Cedric Kennedy for CRWC All Elite Wrestling Ring of Honor event. This is going to be more of a report. Xavier, I had to look him up, and I remember seeing him a little bit. I don't know. When I watched him, his promos, yeah, it was X marked the spot and stuff, and I don't know. I guess that could be where, I don't know, but maybe that's where CM Punk got his boast from, the cross arm boast. It's amazing where people take things from, but it said that his cause of death was unknown, or it hasn't been released, and it said that he died in 2020. So it's been a while. Still another young wrestler lost. That just never sits well. It shouldn't sit well for anyone. But hey, we're gonna get into this. So the reason it's going to be more of a report is because AEW, when it comes to Ring of Honor, it seems that Tony Khan just kind of haphazardly booked. There's no real storylines or not good storyline progressions and such. I don't know how to say this without just outright crapping on stuff. It's difficult. I want to say good things. I want to say positive things, but they make it so hard. So, case in point, opening match, the Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Championship. Katsuyori Shibata, your incumbent champion, defends against Nick Wayne. It's like, let's just throw it out there. What I say, that boy can't wrestle. I found out in this match he can't amateur wrestle, and he just can't plain wrestle. And, it's not good. Then you think about the fact that he just showed up. This is his Ring of Honor debut match. He hasn't climbed any alleged rankings or anything of the sort. He just show up and get a title match with so many other wrestlers that are accustomed to the rules and know how to exploit them and put on a great match and show great ring psychology and whatnot and pull you in and whatnot. This guy just gets it over them. I mean, I know it's just, I know the pure belt is just not fictitious in terms of tangibility, but fictitious as in it's not an actual world recognized belt like, the World Boxing Organization or, anything dealing with tennis or football, basketball, baseball, all that stuff. Those championships, I don't know how legit they are, but they are recognized. So I get it But to the fans, these belts are recognized and they are held high in the fans' eyes, and you got to respect that. So Nick Wayne, he gets in here. First rope break is by Nick Wayne to escape a standing ankle lock that he was snatched into. And then Wayne does Shibata's elbow shivers in the corner, hangtown drop kick, and his bows. He did the whole gambit. So that's when Shibata, he bows up and let him know really what you're in the ring with. Like, I'm gonna let you know this one time. And next thing Shibata, he puts the combination on Nick Wayne, and he put a little stank on it, so it didn't look right. Shibata probably did a couple of potatoes, especially on the drop kick. Nothing to hurt, but to send a message. That's what it looked like. But Shibata knows how to pro wrestle. So what's real, what's not, you don't know. I can only go on the floor of what I'm presented with in this, and I enjoy that. The next rope break comes by Nick Wayne to escape the octopus hold that he was really wrapped up in. And upon the break, Shibata kicked Nick Wayne really good for good measure. Next rope break comes from Nick Wayne, who grabs the rope just to escape a rear waist lock. And Caprice Coleman is saying, I don't think he meant to grab the ropes and stuff. Stop defending this boy. You don't know what he's doing. So Wayne tries some jumping move because that's all he can do. He got beat on. That's all Nick Wayne did. He got beat on, beat up, beat down. And then whenever he got an opening that literally Shibata had to force him to have. Shibata's not a magician. He can't make you look like you're doing something you're not, but he tried. And so Nick Wayne would only go into the high flying stuff best that he could, but Shibata kept shutting a lot of it down. It's like you can get a move maybe, but then don't try anything else. But when he went to this rope and jumped backwards, Shibata caught him, sleeper, put him down, PK, champ retains. And now the code of honor was respected by both. And Coleman says Wayne is the future of AEW Ring of Honor, and I wrote he needs to stop drinking. It's just that simple. Lee Johnson's in the back for an interview and is interrupted by Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Shane and Lee basically bully him, but Lee and Lee will have to face each other later on. Diamante versus the newcomer to Ring of Honor, at least, Katie Bright. And I liked her attire. Nice attire. Diamante, she won with a rolling net breaker and pin. In the back, Willie Mack and the infantry in the back, they're matching their gear and they're on the same page. Nice, decent enough promo about, Willie Mack is always on top, but the infantry, they are trying to make their promos the way they perform in the ring, and it's not really working. It's just not. But they all match. They look nice. So next we get Lee Johnson versus Lee Moriarty. Look, Moriarty, he won with a jumping leg lariat and then pin. But I had to note that it was a really good match. It was back and forth the whole time. Outside of those, just to give my 2 cents, these two, they put on a damn good match. It was a damn good match. And this was like opening to mid-card level match. I like to see these two in a nice program that builds up to a pay-per-view match, most likely, where they really show what they can do in that ring. This was good, and it was a teaser. It felt like a teaser. They did a lot of stuff, but they didn't do their stuff, and I enjoyed that. No one really fought from underneath. No one made some kind of awesome, always epic comeback and win. No, it was just back and forth. It was great wrestling, counter wrestling, a clear babyface, a clear heel. But Lee Moriarty, though he was the bad guy, And you could tell it by subtle things that he was doing in the ring. Lee Moriarty knows at least a lot. I think he's still got some growth to do, but Moriarty, he can promo, he can wrestle, he can fight, he can pure wrestle. He's almost a total package in terms of skill and ability. So I say watch out. And Lee Johnson, he just might be coming up. We have to see what goes on. He needs to work on his face, not looking so scared. Then after this, Athena trains her minions. So the MIT, the minions in training. During this montage, they passed Shane Taylor during it, and the look on his face was funny. He had that look on like, I see this, but I am not a part of it. Y'all crazy, stay over there. They boo Willow, who says, "What'd I do? I thought we were friends." And she had her happy face on, but it's also that face of I'm playing along with it. So at the end of the montage, Lexi had graduated MIT and Billy still sucks. That's Athena's judgment. And yeah, Billy's not doing well. Pom-pom, smiling. Athena doesn't want her to smile. She wants her to scare people. We'll make them cry and stuff. It's Billy just, it's not working out. But she's trying though. She's a minion. So next we get Mercedes Martinez versus Trish Adora, and Adora's already in the ring. And I was like, well, this is going to be one-sided. Nope, it was extremely competitive. The crowd was quiet-ish. So Trish was very loud, especially with the camera staying up in her face. Trish had to fight off Martinez and her accompanied second, Diamante, also her tag team partner. I like that Diamante was still in her wrestling gear. I like that. Because sometimes they go back, change or something like that. It's like, nah, come out in my gear. Mercedes wins with the Dragon Romero submission. Nothing at the post-match there. And then we get Athena in action. She comes to the ring with Billy Starks against Angelina Love. And I thought, oh, well, Angelina Love is coming down here. She's going to be in here, do the job, leave. It's going to be like a 2 or 3 minute match. Or your standard job 6-minute match. Either way. Athena pins Angelina Love after the Canadian backbreaker rolled into a double knee chin breaker. I had to note that Love wrestled a damn well match and led this match perfectly. If this match was led by Athena, I wouldn't be able to tell because it wasn't Athena's normal style and pace. Angelina Love showed up, and I've watched her in the NWA most recently, whatnot, and this is a different Athena. This Athena, not Athena, good grief, Angelina Love, this was different from her, from NWA, working with fodder. This Angelina Love, she wrestled. She didn't do more than she needs to do, and she didn't do too little either. She was right in the middle, sold well, showed up some things. She it's weird, but although she doesn't have too much to teach Athena, you could tell there was something going on. It all flows so smooth, but you could tell at points Athena was listening to her. Maybe Angelina was too soft-spoken in her instructions, or maybe Athena was listening to some advice. It's hard to say, but Athena had her "I'm listening to you" eyes on at certain clutches. Not her "yeah" eyes. It was okay. It was a difference. I enjoyed this match. It was a long match that didn't feel like a long match. This was a really good women's match. I don't know how long Angelina's going to be there, but it'd be nice if she worked with a lot of the other women. So moving on backstage, Maria asks Griff Garrison if he's ready for tonight's match. Griff states that this is a trial and error thing between them and admits to feeling like he's lost a step after the injury, but he is ready. After that, it's a 6-women's match. It's Layla Hirsch and the Renegades versus Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue, and Kiera Hogan. I don't have to say, but you know Sky Blue was just weak in this. She was weak. I mean, she did better than usual, but the problem is when I watch her now, I'm expecting her to mess up or tick me off. So it's hard to watch her with just resting eyes of confidence that I'm going to see something all right. But she won with her rolling Yoshi tonic, and the defender had to wait forever but it didn't happen the first time, so they had to get back into position, and then she did it. So yeah, Lexi talks backstage to a new trio. I think will only last one night. Angelico and Serpentico, the Spanish Announce Project with Tony Nese. And Nese is a jerk, and we move on. So VSK comes to the ring. He's going against Ethan Page, and I've seen VSK. He was part of the Trust Busters, and Trust Busters, he's wearing it on his jacket still. But I also saw him in New Japan Strong. So I saw him, but this match, it was all right. This match would be on today's NWA. It'd be all right. Page won with the H Crusher and the cover. So someone else using the H Crusher, you know. It's a nice move, but everybody should have their own stuff. Next is a trios match. Tony Nese, Serpentico, and Angelico versus Metalik, Son of the Viking, and Gravity. So Gravity pinned Nese after a Senton Atomico. All right. So that's where Nese is. Backstage, Lexi talks to Ethan Page. Ethan speaks on having many losses and then touching the world title and then being under the pressure that made him think and want to be better. After 2 wins in 2 weeks, these past 2 weeks, he's going to not just touch the goal, but he's going to keep it. That's what he's striving for. Next, we get tag team action. Cole Carter and Griff Garrison versus Darius Martin and Action Andretti. Now, this is the second, actually the maybe third storyline that's going. You've got Athena working with the Minions. You've got Shane Taylor, who is rebuilding Shane Taylor Promotions, who's acquired Lee Moriarty, and although it's nothing big right now, but maybe something's going on with Big Shotty Lee Johnson and maybe Keith Lee. I'm not sure what's happening with Shane Taylor and all that. And you've also got Tony Nese, who's doing his thing. It's just not good. Now you've also got, and I don't know if that's a storyline or not, but now you got Maria, who is gathering people for some kind of army faction or something. And this is, I guess, a tryout, but this match, Garrison stopped Carter from cheating, and with that distraction, because he was like, we don't do this, we don't cheat, we win, we play by the rules, yada yada. Darius took control over him and set him up for Andretti to win with the Scorpio, a swan dive Scorpio splash or a 450 splash and win. And it's, yeah, I get the Scorpio splash. Who innovated? Was it Too Cold Scorpio? Or was it Scott Steiner? Right. So it's main event, 6-man tag team title match. The Infantry and Willie Mack versus the Mogul Embassy. And looking up Xavier, not Xavier Woods, but Xavier, find out that, okay, Mogul Embassy has been around. It was just the embassy headed by Prince Nana back in 2002. And I'm like, okay, they've been around for a long time. All right. So this match was as expected, to be honest. It was a Ring of Honor style match. So it was entertaining, but even the crowd could feel it. This is good. We enjoy it, but we know the inevitable. That's where the crowd was. Mogul Embassy, they win with a double face plant by the Gates of Agony, and Brian Cage pinned Willie Mack again. So, and look, I wish the commentators would, I understand, sound excited. Your words, your voice, your excitement keeps the people's eyes on the prize. I get that. Your excitement is dangling the keys, and you're also supposed to provide information and whatnot. But man, there are things y'all need to stop popping for. Case in point, Brian Cage middle rope deadlift Willie Mack into the ring for a suplex. Yeah, Willie Mack is on the heavier side, but he's done it the 3 times we've seen him wrestle. This is the 3rd time that we've seen him wrestle in Ring of Honor. How can you be epically impressed by something he does, like picking up a straw? Cage ain't weak. And Willie knows how to go with the move. But not just that, not inside talk, but you've seen him do it. That'd be like being overtly impressed back in the day when Lex Luger military presses Ric Flair, or when Sting military presses Ric Flair, or when Hawk and Animal lifts Ric Flair. Should I go on? You got to chill, hold it back some. Get excited over something you don't see too often, but do your commentary. Commentary sometimes can be very fun and funny. Case in point, when Uranage was done earlier, and Riccaboni's like, Uranage called me. He's like, what did you call me? I thought that was funny. I almost missed it because I was just kind of, at that point, I was just vibing with the commentary. But, this event was all right. It got slightly better as it went. They need to start building people up. But yeah, I think that's all that there is to say. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm trying to find something. When Cedric gets back from vacation, she'll probably feel the same way too. Like, we're trying to find something to be like excited about. Like, we watched this. Okay, I'll just throw this in at the end. I listened to Jim Cornette, and they talked about SmackDown and The Rock. And I decided, I'm like, okay, I got to go see. He's talking about how they're popping and stuff. And I know that they will, especially when he said that they didn't know that he was going to be there. So Pat McAfee, he's talking in the ring. It's like, this is the people's show. And you know what that means. I think he should have led into it a little bit further. I think they got too much script to read and remember, but he pauses, and Austin Theory is like, huh, what? Man, you smell it, and you can't hear after that. The crowd loses every mind that they ever had. It was absolute deafening. Absolute. And then Dwayne Johnson, he comes out, and it's a good thing he was wearing shades, because I could see his forehead like, wow. But he had to have that smoldering look on his face. Smoldering. And wow. And then he gets in the ring, and he got the crowd eating out of his hand. Doing promo, going off the top of his head. He doesn't say anything new. He doesn't do anything new. He's Attitude Era. And I gotta admit, yeah, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I have to give that up. There's, EC3 calls himself the Overman, and he is over. But there's a difference. It's a different level of over. And nobody today can build themselves up like this. And I'm going to tell you something. Back in the day, when they were still fresh and in the game, those people of the Attitude Era, the top wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Rock, Steve Austin, Undertaker, and those people, the crowd sounded like this back then in smaller venues. I just want y'all to keep that in mind. They sounded like this back then and in smaller venues. So that's why in this larger venue, you could not hear the music. You couldn't. It was like when they cheered CM Punk when he came out to AEW. But this dwarfed that. And I was, the crowd gave me goosebumps. Dwayne Johnson, I was like, oh, well, there you go. There's the dude. He's out there. He's wearing the shades. He's, But the crowd gave me goosebumps. I was like, okay, y'all energy is crazy. Could AEW achieve that? Easily. But will they? They'll never try. But with that said, this has been Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary, All Elite Wrestling's Ring of Honor event. Y'all be good, be chill, be safe. And we'll see you next time.